Hey guys, it's Bear in a Backpack, and welcome to the No Games Here podcast. Now, before I get into the topics for today's discussion, I have an awesome announcement. We have our first sponsor, TasteBuff.com. Now, at TasteBuff, you can get reward points for buying games, movies, heck, even DLCs for the games you buy. And all you have to do is provide proof of purchase for a supported title, get your points, and redeem them for sweet gift cards for stores like Amazon, GameStop, and a whole bunch more. Hey, even just in time for holiday shopping. Become a member for free to access the redemption and reward system, or for $4.99 a month you can upgrade to premium to enjoy extra bonuses like rewards for DLC purchases. Check the description below for a special offer code made just for you guys. They get some nice bonuses for joining and enters you into a giveaway for a Steam game of your choice of up to $40 in value. Now, I've personally tried out the system and I really like it, and I think you guys would benefit from trying it out yourselves, so I'd recommend it. Now, the link I'm going to be providing will only be active for 14 days from the date this video is released. After that, the winner of the Steam game giveaway will be decided upon and the link will close, so be sure to get in on it before it closes. Now, once again, that is tastebuff.com. So without further ado, today, Tom, Alex, and I are going to be talking about the new Mass Effect Andromeda gameplay trailer that just released not too long ago, and discussing our picks for Game of the Year, while trying to explain our favorite Overwatch characters to each other, while simultaneously trying to unravel I think the best word would be enigma? That is the Death Stranding trailer, especially the new one. Man, so many questions. There's it answered some, but so many more questions, really. And on top of that, we're going to be sharing the upcoming games we're excited for, too. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. So there's been a lot of news coming out, and one of the biggest announcements is, well, I guess I wouldn't call it more an announcement so much as just more news in general coming out on Mass Effect Andromeda. So from the new gameplay trailer that came out, what are you guys' favorite things about it? Like things you thought looked the coolest or looked like it was going to be the most fun to mess with? Why don't we start with you, Tom?
Oh gosh, start with me. Well, I'll be quite honest with you, but I have not watched any Mass Effect Andromeda footage on purpose.
Oh, you haven't watched the trailer? Oh.
No, I wouldn't. I would not see for me because I trust BioWare completely. They've always made games that are they're like the company that makes a game for me that I always like. For example, like with Dragon Age, Mass Effect, Baldur's Gate, Knights of the Old Republic. Between any of their main RPG strongholds, they make games that I really like. And so for me, because if I even see one little thing or one cutscene, one quip from a character, that could be enough for me to see it in the game and kind of get an idea of what's happening. And I want to go into it as fresh as possible with no environments, no expectations, no hype, no nothing. I just want to experience the game as a whole. But I know what Mass Effect is going to be. I mean, I've heard that it's going to be open world. I've heard that it's going to be more, a little looser on the story base and more on the exploration and those type of mechanics, unlike Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, probably more along the lines of 1 as opposed to 2 and 3, because 2 and 3 were very linear games. I mean, yes, you could go from planet to planet, but you couldn't explore planetary surfaces. You couldn't go and be like, I'm just going to go and explore the galaxy for a little while.
What, you didn't like the mining mini game where you go, oh, there it is.
Found it.
Boop. All right, let's keep doing that. Jesus.
Right?
Damn it, Tom.
Hey, it was a game mechanic. It said it. I just attempted it. And it said what I thought it would, and it made me laugh.
Thumb the stick to probe Uranus. I'm sorry, what game?
And I'm really excited that they're going away from Shepard and trying to do something different. And they've always been good at creating characters. They've always been good at creating stories and interactions between the story and just the main gameplay itself. And I think if they just improve on the little things that kind of made it that people were upset with Mass Effect on. I have very few complaints about it. Yes, the game mechanics were not the greatest in terms of combat. I wouldn't say it's my favorite third-person shooter ever, because there are better ones.
Really? I never had a problem with the combat.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't say it's a bad combat system. I thought it was really fun, but I'm not saying like I think third person combat wise, I think like Gears of War is better, for third person
Really?
shooter combat.
Really? Oh, I always felt Gears was so clunky.
Well,
everything about it is just rough and clunky and ugh.
I kind of like that the heaviness of the combat. For me, I think Mass Effect was a little bit too. I don't know. I felt too loose, I guess is the way I would describe it. Like I never felt like I was stuck to cover very well. I would always be kind of like running around like a madman, just going ha ha ha, shooting powers and throwing grenades at things. And I don't know. It didn't quite feel as grounded as Gears is. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a bad combat system. I enjoyed playing the game, and I think it had a really good, and especially 3 had a lot of improvements on it. And like the multiplayer of that was really fun, and I really enjoyed that. But I hope that they do give a little bit of work on that just to make it, bring it up to modern standards, bring it up to a little bit, not quite as arcadey as it sometimes felt, at least to me.
Mm-hmm.
I just want a little bit more to it. And like Mass Effect 1, it was combat system was like, I guess I fire 1,000,000 bullets into this guy and now he's dead. Okay. And like there's very little recoil to the weapons. The weapons didn't really feel that powerful. And except for the sniper rifle and shotgun felt cool, but they really didn't do enough damage to be like, okay.
I mean, but it kind of makes sense for them to not have recoil because it's like they're space guns. I mean, you would think there would be little to no recoil if at all possible.
Well, you would think so, and I mean I don't know.
It may not make for a cool gun, but it's.
I mean, I guess
sense.
If you're shooting out something at high velocity, you would think you'd have some kind of kickback because of just standard momentum transfer. To get that to go forward, you have to have something else go backwards.
Oh, agreed. But they also have those mass drivers that can propel a ship across light years,
inertial dampers,
and nothing
and all that.
happens. Yeah.
Fair enough. So technology-wise, you have artificial gravity and whatnot. So I mean, they do, of course, have some control over forces in the area, but
which should mean that the shotgun that does kick a little bit must just be a behemoth.
Shoots a giant laser of death instead of a
without
of a
the inertial
slug.
dampener, just rips you in half.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. But you're right, because like in Star Wars, like when I played Star Wars Battlefront, and it was bothering me that there was no recoil, because I was just like, so what, you just fire straight always? There's a little spread to the bullets, but there's really no recoil. I'm like, well, yeah, I guess the blasters don't have any recoil.
Plus, wouldn't that be the goal?
It's like they're lasers or something.
It's almost like they're lasers, and I don't know why it just, for me, is just such, I mean, I think because I'm so used to having recoil and having to compensate for it, that when it's not there, I'm like, okay, they just don't feel powerful, I guess.
See, that's why I think, but okay, I realize this is a tangent at this point, but just something I want to address with that. I think Battlefront did a good job, though, compensating with the sounds, and I think that's where you need to, is if you're not going to have physical feedback, well, I mean, you're playing a game, but you get the idea. Like, not going to have your character react to firing the gun with, like, kick or something. Sounds are crucial. It needs to sound like it's going to just demolish whatever it's about to hit, or at least be somewhat intimidating when you fire it. Agreed. If you're firing the gun, it's like like laser rifles in Fallout. Yeah, you're going to be like, what, why do I care about this?
It feels wimpy, even if it does a lot of damage.
Yeah, but if it's like, you're like, oh shit, Jesus, all right, goddamn.
That's a good point. Maybe that's part of was bothering me sometimes about it. And it was a good game, don't get me wrong, and I really enjoyed it. I just feel like some of the mechanics could get improved. So to answer your question, I haven't seen anything in the trailer, but I am just excited because BioWare is making another game.
Well, Alex, what about you?
Sorry, brain.
Alex, how about you?
He was building a thing at Space Engineers. It's fine.
He was building a thing.
I am not building a thing on Space Engineers. I'm not playing Space Engineers.
In his mind, he is.
Maybe. I don't know.
Now he's going to be like, what was the question?
Yes, what was the question?
We're very professional here. It's all right. It's totally... All right. No, the question was, well, I guess we should start with, have you seen the Mass Effect Andromeda trailer, the newest one?
No.
Well, this has clearly gone fantastically. All right. Well, anywho,
Have you
in the
seen any of the
trailer,
trailers?
have you seen any of them?
No, I'm not.
Oh.
I've never. Tom's gonna kill me for this, but I still haven't played through the first 3 Mass Effects. So
No, I think we'll both. I think I'll hold you down while Tom begins to beat you over the head with a bat.
Oh, Zach, you're already getting beaten over the head with the Untitled Republic.
Yeah, no, you gave it to me, so I'm playing through it, but
Have you? Oh, it's a good game.
I've
Anyways,
literally started it and calibrated it and shut it down. That's really it's all that's happened.
But my Mass Effect is a great series. I know you've seen some of it, Alex, haven't you? You've seen some.
yeah.
All right.
You know what happens, I'm sure, at this point.
Like in the video, they show a lot of the new combat, and you were saying how you didn't like the arcadiness of it. That may not be the best thing then, because it does look kind of. It's still cover based third person shooter. It's just it's a lot more action, and it does look though like you said, they are very much pushing open world. There's going to be a lot of big areas to explore. They gave you the equivalent of the Mako again. It's better though. It's just not as.
It doesn't drive like a drunk rhino. I'll find out for myself.
It doesn't appear to drive like that, but then again, what it appears to look like and how it actually drives are two different things. But it appears to not be terrible, and it looks like you still have all the same general abilities, but everything's just a little bit different.
Yeah, a little bit of coat of paint on it.
Well, yeah, and I think like we were discussing before we started, like how BioWare tends to always kind of try to break free and try to do something different every time they release a game. Even if it's in the same series, they're willing to take risks with it.
Totally.
And I think with this one, oh, go ahead.
I said totally, because if you look at Dragon Age, like Dragon Age is a perfect series for that. Dragon Age 1 was, it was an abilities-based game, kind of like old MMOs used to be, where it's like, you press X, now you use this skill. Push Y, now you use this skill. I played it on Xbox, so. Yeah. And you push B, you use this skill, and you push A, and your guy just kind of automatically does attacks, kind of like in Untitled Republic 1. Then with Dragon Age 2, they went for a more action-oriented one where you're tapping A to attack continuously. It's not auto attacks. It's you doing chains and combos and things like that. People didn't like that as much. I know I didn't. I didn't like it as much as I liked the old system. So what they did with Dragon Age Inquisition, they said, okay, so people didn't like here's what they didn't like about the first one. Here's what they didn't like about the second one. Now we're going to make it more open world, less linear like Dragon Age 2 was. And then now they made it a large open areas to explore. They gave you back a little bit of the tactical combat, but gave you a little bit more on the action-oriented side as well. So it was a great blend of the two. So they really tried to push the boundaries for each game. And I think the same could be said for Mass Effect between 1 and 3.
Yeah, I really think that's what they're doing with this, because it's clear, I like driving around on the planet, and I think they realized that people liked that, and then they lost it over the next couple games. They're like, all right, okay, we're going to bring that one back.
With a little bit more populated. Oh, yeah. Because the planets were kind of boring because there was
the moon wasn't interesting? You didn't find the moon super interesting with the one
just
station
around
on it?
Yeah, one station, and there's literally nothing else. And the minerals that are like random pockets in a corner somewhere.
But, it's... That being said, they're very much, breaking free, but I like how they're smart enough to, They know which things they need to keep. Because, they still have the Turians and the Krogan, and they have the same general species around. There's something familiar with it, but it's still different. And I think they've kind of figured out that good mix of familiar but different. And I think that's going to go a long way to this being hopefully a really, really good game. I mean, I'm super excited about it. I know you are. And Alex, even though you haven't played any of them, I would suggest play them, and then you can be just as excited as us.
I have too many games.
Well, prioritize. It's worth it. Play Mass Effect. It is worth your time.
It is definitely worth your time.
And I don't know what. And if you don't choose Ashley in the first game, what's wrong with you?
Caden's like, I'm useful. No,
kind of. What? Sorry, I can't hear you over the engines and bye.
Oh no, we left. We had to leave somebody behind. Who are you going to leave behind? I mean, who honestly left behind Ashley or Ashley instead?
Okay, the romantic side of that, aside,
I think she's kind of
still just a far better soldier character, just character in general.
like she had at least because she had her issues with the aliens with her family history and stuff like that. Her character had a little bit of depth. Caden's like, I was on a biotic school once. It was fun.
I'm important.
It explodes and I love when it explodes and Shepard makes a sad face like, oh no, I lost a friend. I'm like, okay.
That he immediately turns around and goes, so anywho, who wants lunch? Yeah, lunch sounds great. Yeah. Tapas? Yeah, let's go with tapas. Oh God. Yeah, I'm like I said, I've loved the entire Mass Effect series and I'm just so excited. I'm so excited.
Me too.
So with the with this podcast, this is going to be coming out into I guess early December here, and like we're drawing obviously close to the end of the year. So what I'd like to talk about is what is everybody's game of the year. That's I think something that obviously that comes up every year, but that being with the proximity to the end of the year, I think it's a good thing to talk about. So who wants to go first? Alex, Tom?
Alex
Tom wants to go first.
Tom first again. All right.
Always first.
Everything's coming up, Tom.
You're all doomed.
Oh God.
So my game of the year, my first point of this game, because I was thinking about it, I was like, all right, game of the year. Usually I have a very clear-cut game of the year. Like last year, it was it was a tie between, for me, it was a tie between Metal Gear and Witcher. I thought both were really good games, and they both stood out immediately in my mind. Like I didn't have to think about it. I didn't have to go back and be like, I wonder. And the year before that, it was Dragon Age Inquisition, and I can go back and there's always one or two games that really stick out in my mind. And I thought this year, I'm like, what came out this year? Was my first thought. I'm like, I don't even know.
What, you mean when we all had to go search and go like, God, what did come out this year?
Yeah, and I think everyone was in that same boat and I've been, listening to podcasts and other locations, and a lot of people have been saying the same thing where they're like, man, nothing really stands out this year, because I think like if the original games that had been projected this year, like Mass Effect Andromeda, Horizon Zero Dawn, Persona 5, and the games like that had come out, I think those would have been the big releases this year.
Tom, if Persona 5 had come out, your wife would have filed a missing persons report.
Everyone would have filed a missing persons report. I would be disappeared into the ether for about a week. And I would come out and I would say, the Persona 5 is the greatest game ever. With wide-eyed. Yeah,
Tom's boss is like, hey, have you guys seen Tom anywhere? No, we checked his cubicle a while ago. There was a note saying he was playing Persona 5. Oh,
whatever that is.
Oh. Well, he's gone for the next month. All right, we'll hire an intern in the meantime. He'll be back. It's all right.
And that's kind of like, and if those games had come out, I think I would be, and I think that's why I think next year is going to be a huge year for games, because we're going to have those and Red Dead and things like that. And if all of those that are projected to come out next year, I think if those come out and do, I think that next year is going to be a fantastic, probably the best year in a long time. But this
not for
year,
my wallet. It's going to be terrible for my wallet, but
terrible wallet year. But this year I was like, the games that were supposed to be the big games either got pushed out or were big disappointments. And so I was thinking through, I was like, well, there was Overwatch, which won the game of the year from the VGA awards or whatever they call them now.
I think it's DVI now, right? Or have they switched to HDMI? It's the HDMI awards, right?
Whatever the hell the 3-letter acronym it is.
Oh, SATA.
Change it.
SATA, got it. Yeah.
So, but for me, I think my game of the year is probably Zero Time Dilemma is probably my game of the year, because that's the game I enjoyed the most. And obviously, like I've talked about it before, third game in the Zero Escape series. It's always been a series that's interested me. And I think it definitely flew under the radar this year, and most people didn't play it because they haven't played the first ones. Either that or they think, wow, this game seems really weird. And it is. I will admit that.
No, not weird at all. That game is perfectly normal.
Who
doesn't perpetually have a giant mask stuck to their face? It's fine.
Everything is normal. Nothing out of the ordinary. And if you have the twists in those games are like, and wait, what now? Say what? And so like I was really excited playing that game, and it kept up to the same standard that the other two were, and had a lot of great twists to it. And I had a fun time playing that game. And if I had to say a second, I'd say probably Fire Emblem Fates is probably my next favorite, both of which were portable games, which is oddly enough. And I enjoyed that game a lot. I love the Fire Emblem series, and I think that game really brought a lot of the best mechanics of all together and had a good story, good enough to keep me interested, and had a lot of fun party mechanics to keep going. So those would be my 2 games of the year if I had to pick one, it'd be Zero Time Dilemma.
Okay. Alex, are you ready, or do you want me to go?
No, I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
I was like, am I ready for this?
All right, and your game of the year?
No. Stop. Before.
Mallow Bar.
No, Alex, no, even worse.
That is the other thing I brought up to you.
That's right.
Meow, that's right.
Oh God. We're just going to say annoying things? Is that what we're going to do?
Wobba Fett.
Yep, that's what's happening.
All right. Well, we've clearly went off track. All right, Alex, game of the year, go.
Well, this is compounded by the fact that I've played, what do we think, three
of the games this year.
3 new games this year?
Of the 60 that came out?
That actually came out this year?
Yep.
One was Battleborn, which isn't a bad game, but
if Battleborn wins Game of the Year, you might want to cry inside.
I think they'd cry from joy from people recognizing them.
Oh my god, someone bought our game.
It's a miracle. It's a Christmas miracle.
Which is sad because it really is a good game.
It's so good. It's just very... It's honestly poor timing. I think we've talked about this before, but it's such poor timing with Overwatch.
But anyway, you played that and The Division.
So, and The Division is its own shitstorm of awfulness and hatred, but it's gotten better. They released their 1.5 patch, and it's actually pretty playable now. Still, maybe not the game it could have been if it had been that way at launch, but yes, good enough.
So I haven't really played too much of The Division. I played when the open beta was out, but I haven't played it since then. I haven't bought it or anything. Can you explain a little bit about what made it not fun originally and what they fixed in the new update?
Okay, so Borderlands 2 is a good example. It's essentially a loot-based game where you're praying to RNGesus to hope that he gives you good loot drops so you can actually continue on through the game. Well, The Division was like that, but instead of rolling 1 stat randomly, it was rolling 8 stats randomly.
Oh, Jesus.
And then the drop rate was so abysmal, you could play for multiple hours
and not get an orange.
Which is the highest rarity item. You play The Division now, and oranges are like candy. They're everywhere. It's great. What was awful at the beginning that they've improved upon is they've improved a lot of the drop rates. They've made some things less random. So people who actually want to go out and get the min-max build, it's actually an achievable goal instead of just some pipe dream or something.
Grind fest.
Some massive grind fest. So it's kind of I'm not gonna say it's less grindy because it's a loot-based game. I mean, by its definition, it's a little bit grindy.
Yeah.
But they've made the grind a lot. It's fun now because you're getting so many things. You don't have to be like, well, this shotgun is shit, and I don't like shotguns, but it's my only orange, so I guess I'm gonna use it. It's like, oh well, I have 30 other options to choose from, so I'll just throw this one away and use one of my other ones. It made it. I mean, there's still goals to reach for, like there were at the beginning of the game, but it's not a massive jump between point A and point B.
Well, that's good. It's a good thing that they realized that there was a problem and went, you know what, we should fix this.
Usually Ubisoft is pretty good at that.
Unfortunately, it's 6 months later after they've lost 95% of their.
Yeah, no, that sounds like Ubisoft. That's
Mhm.
about right. I'm just imagining that the majority of their workers, like every time they release a game, just go on vacation. They're sitting somewhere in the Caribbean when they're just like they get an email about all these problems. They're like, oh no, oh god, get on the plane. We gotta go home. We gotta fix it. Several weeks later, got it done. People still playing? Not really. Shit. Maybe next time we'll fix this, and they never do.
Yeah, and that kind of brings it back to Alex. So you played those two games. So what would be your game of the year then, if those are the two of the three?
The third one I played is, which actually really, really surprised me. Usually, I hate those kind of games. I absolutely hate 4X games, and I have a vendetta against Civilization. But that's a story for another time. So when I saw it come up, one of our friends was playing it. He kind of talked to me about it, and I looked at a video, and it was on sale, so I did one of those, what the heck, why not thing. And it actually turned into one of my favorite game that was actually released this year.
Hearts of Iron 4, right?
Hearts of Iron, yeah, 4. The user interface is actually pretty simple. To me, there's a good balance between political and military and economic. I mean, you don't have to be some political wizard who understands the equations that the AI is running off of in order to do diplomatic processes or
maximize everything.
Mm-hmm. It's a pretty straightforward game that has a lot of depth that you can go into if you really want to. And then that combined with the fact that there's a good multiplayer support, which was real fun. We could play with some friends. Say that's it.
Nice. Yeah, I saw Hearts of Iron 4, and I saw you guys playing it. I think I watched you guys play it a couple times through the Steam Steam Share or whatever that's called. I forget what that's called. But yeah, it seemed fairly interesting. It looked like it was really complicated, but I'm guessing it's one of those things where it's like it looks complicated, but to learn it doesn't take super long.
It has a lot of deep-ish things you have to be aware of. But I've been trying to learn it as well. But from what I can tell, it doesn't seem like it takes too much to learn to get to the point where you're at least competent.
Yeah, and especially with the different difficulty levels, there's the base game is pretty easy to understand, but as far as there's a lot of room for fine tuning and maximizing the effectiveness of your units and of your strategy and things like that. And you can play as any country during the World War II era, so you can go from playing the major powerhouse countries like Germany, Italy, France, Britain, United States, Russia, to some of the smaller ones like
Italy. Oh wait, no.
Italy is not small.
I know.
But like Norway, Denmark, Sweden, Finland, some of those countries. Which I mean, it's the game has a lot of replay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's always seemed interesting to me. I've just never super wanted to try. It's a weird mix of like I've wanted to try it, but also I'm not so convinced as to buy it when it's not on sale. So we'll see. Maybe one of these days when it's on sale, I might pick it up. For me, I don't know. My game of the year, it's split between like indie and mainstream right now. I guess I shouldn't say mainstream. Like I guess triple A. Yeah, would probably be a better way to describe that. For the indie side, I would say it'd probably be Enter the Gungeon. I mean, that's in terms of indie games. Yeah, I play a lot of them, and of the games I've played, that was one of the ones that's like really just hit you hard and just kept going. Like the music was great, the gameplay was really fluid. Normally, I'm not like a huge fan of like roguelites, but like I really liked the like, oh, I died, damn it, I can try harder, and go back in and maybe get the not have the pea shooter this time and maybe get the laser sword or laser gun. What is that thing called? Forget. The one that's both the sword and the gun, and when you reload, you use it as a sword to smack away bullets. That one's nice. That one's nice to have. Real nice. But yeah, just there's so much replayability to it. Whether or not like you beat the game, like getting through the game is great, but like I'm totally fine just going in and just screwing around for an hour or two. Like
it's a perfect game for quick runs, and I think that what it is that it has it's constant action. It's constant, trying to dodge bullets. And every room is a little bit different. Yes, there's a lot that you'll see that are similar, but in the end, when I play it, I've never really felt like I'm playing the same stuff over and over again. It always feels just a little bit different because sometimes the spawns are a little different, sometimes the room layouts are a little different. And I think it always keeps me on my toes based on the drops and stuff, that it just makes it fun because I'm like, ooh, I have a weird combination of guns. Or sometimes it challenges you because it gives you really bad guns and you have to try to make do with what you've got.
Also, the letter gun. It is a lowercase letter R that fires letters as bullets. And in fact, it just says it fires bullet, the word bullet, and says bullet. And when you reload it, it just deletes the letter and retypes the letter. It's great.
Yeah, and it has small humors like that, and there's some of the guns are hilarious to use, and it has a lot of humor to the game and a lot of replayability, like you said. I agree. I think that game was really good this year.
Also, the bulletkin are adorable, little cute little bullet people. For the AAA games, I would say Overwatch, probably, of everything that came out. It's like there's a ton of like MOBAs coming out right now. Oh, there's so many, and they're all pretty much the same, or at best the same, at worst completely unmemorable. Just nothing, not even worth your time. And like that came out, and like immediately you have an attachment to the characters. You care about them. You want to know what their backstory is. Each and every one of them, like whether or not you like playing a sniper or whatever, you still want to give it a shot because you're like, well, this seems really cool. Let's see what this player does or what this character does.
Good point.
And like they have ways of teaching you how to play all the different characters, and like there's so many events going on, and like, yeah, you can pay money for the loot boxes and stuff, but you can get them without ever paying money. Like,
and they're only skins and stuff. It's all based on your skill. There's no fancy, loadout that is the best versus everything else.
Yeah. And I realize it's a game you pay $60 for. Well, actually, no. What is it? 40? $40 for
It's 40 on PC, 60 on console.
PC. Yay. Gotta love PC. But, so like 40 on PC. I mean, yeah, you're paying for it, so I guess I wouldn't expect a ton of like free-to-play BS with the whole like having to buy things. But I've seen it happen, so I'm happy they didn't go that route. But yeah, they're like, and the things you do get, like I always feel like there was care and love put into them. Like it wasn't just it's a reskin. No, he's blue now. Glad you paid $5. Like no, it's like a completely different outfit, and like they almost carry themselves a little different in it too. And it's just there's so much put into it that's why I think it's like probably one of the best games that came out this year, in my opinion.
It not only is it a great game, but I think the biggest part of it is that it's super influential. I mean, you see that game.
Yes.
I mean, how many games have been released now that have already tried to copy of that hero-based type of shooter again? And I'm sure we'll see that for years to come. People trying to
What, you're saying Paladins isn't original?
And there will be plenty of games like that. And people could say, well, it's basically like a Team Fortress 2 clone. I'm like, well, there's a lot of differences, of course, and every game in a base level can be similar if you really wanted to try to.
Everything's been made before at this point. It's really, is it enough different that it's its own thing?
Exactly.
Because yes, I will agree. Overwatch is basically Team Fortress 2, but it's not. Yes, but also very much no.
Yeah, and I think that with Overwatch, I think that the community has really taken hold of that, and even pop culture has tried to use it as well, because it's become such a phenomenon, kind of like Dota 2 was when it kind of had its legs. Oh
yeah, well, I mean it still does. It's just I think the more like front and center one is Overwatch right now. But yeah, it's and the fact that they keep adding new things to it so often is what makes it appealing. Like a lot of games, you'll pay your $40 or $60 and it's supported for a couple years and then they stop supporting it and then they stop caring and it just
And they close the servers.
Yeah. But it feels like they're kind of going to be there for a long time. I mean, and it's Blizzard. I mean, obviously when they make games, they're there for them for the most part. Like
Warcraft 2 remake.
Well,
they said they're not going to bring those back to modern PCs, of course.
Well,
makes me sad.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but in terms of like continuously updating their games, I mean, WoW's been around for how long now?
Probably close to 8 to 10 years. I'm not sure exactly, but I know it's been about 8.
A long time. And there's how many expansions for that? Like
6.
Jesus, yeah. They're good about making worthwhile expansions to the games. Okay, you can argue that some of them are kind of meh, but in general, they at least try. You can feel
they try to support the game.
Yeah.
Did you play Overwatch, Alex?
No, I have not.
Again, oh yeah, that's right. You only played 3 games this year, right?
Yes.
Played a lot of old games though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think they usually have free weekends every once in a while.
They do. I think they just had one a couple weeks ago.
They did. Yeah. Ooh, well, while we're on it, just because I'm always interested. So, who are your favorite characters, Tom?
In Overwatch?
Yeah.
As in, like, okay, so let me ask you this: are you saying who are my favorite characters, or who do I like to play as?
Yes.
Or both?
Both.
Both. I mean, I fully admit that I'm not the best at Overwatch. I kind of stink at it, honestly. When I play against anybody who's even worth a damn, even on console, I get my butt kicked. And that's just the way it is. But I really enjoy as playing characters. I like Soldier 76. Yes, he's very vanilla. I get it. But that's what I'm good at. I'm used to playing
White bread.
I mean,
I love
isn't
white
that
bread,
quite literally the point
Human
of
fighter.
his character? Like, even his character is pretty much like, yeah, it's kind of...
Yeah, I play human fighter, all right. And so, but I really like his armament. It's very, very, he can heal himself. He's got a good offensive repertoire. He's good at medium engagements. He can do a little bit area of effect with his, rockets. I really like that. And I would say I'm not very good with offensive characters. I just don't have a good enough aim. I'm just not good enough at it. So I really like, it's somebody who requires a lot of twitch shooting, like a Pharah. You need to have good aim with her, even though she does do area of effect. If you don't hit them right away, spot on, it doesn't do enough damage to make it worthwhile. So yeah. I'm not good enough with her.
Especially since there's travel time on the rockets too.
And the timing required to be good with McCree is, because you got to be able to flashbang, roll in, and then do your, fan the hammer kind of stuff. And I'm just not good enough for that. And I'm not good with, with the same ID, I'm not good with any of the snipers on that end either. And it's easy to be good with Torbjorn before the patch because, make a turret, the turret does all the work for you pretty much.
Oh, I heard, just as an interesting comment, you were talking about McCree. So, you guys know I watch Critical Role and stuff, and like, it was either on that or in like an interview with Matt Mercer, the guy who voices McCree, and he was saying he plays Overwatch, so occasionally he'll go on and he'll just start saying like, it's high noon, and like everybody just scatters. He'll just say it through the like all chat, like but they'll be like, but there's no McCree. What?
It messes everyone up.
It's great.
Like, it sounds just like him because it is.
Oh man, I'm like, oh man, that's nasty.
that is really like, and then so like if you go through all the characters, I mean, I'm not very good with most of them, and I'd say the ones that I have fun playing, I have fun playing Soldier 76. I have fun playing support, so I play Lucio, I play Mercy, I'm not good with Symmetra. Oh god, I'm terrible with her. Maybe with the new update. I haven't played her since the new update came out, so maybe she's better now than what I was playing. I'm just not strategic enough to play her. But I think Lucio, Mercy, Soldier 76. I'm pretty good with Reinhardt. I like Reinhardt, and I think those are probably my favorites in terms of playing. My favorite characters, I really like Reinhardt as well. I think he's funny. The bravado and stuff is really. I think he's kind of a fun character, and I like what the community has done with Soldier 76, making him the dad character. I think it's hilarious every time I see fan comics about it. So he kind of makes me laugh because of that. So I like him as a character. But I think, and Junkrat stuff are always hilarious too. So as a character, I think he's pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
But I don't like to play him because I think I'm not good enough. Basically, I'm saying I'm not good at Overwatch.
I mean, I'm not much better. I would guess you would probably still shoot circles around me. But for me, I don't know. For characters I play, I'm always usually like area of effect or a sniper in the games I play. So I feel like Mei is a pretty good mix of those two, because like you can go in right up close and personal and start using her freeze gun, and then also use the secondary fire.
That.
What?
Don't tell the internet you liked Mei as a character, because everyone on the internet hates her because of her freeze ray.
I love the freeze ray. It's so bullshit. I've gotten headshots from entirely too far away, just stupidly far away. And I'm like, really, game? You're gonna let that happen? All right, whatever.
At least you didn't say Hanzo.
Oh, I don't. Hanzo and Genji, I just don't. I don't know.
I would love to be better at Genji, because Genji is so much fun when you get him. Like if I could play him right, like sometimes I play him just for fun, and if you can use his deflect and his sword swipe moves well enough, he is a devastating. Like people who play him really like as their main and are really good with him, he destroys people.
Oh yeah, well don't get me wrong. Like I like the characters, I just don't like playing them because I'm not skilled enough to play Hanzo. I just can't. I can't.
People would argue that Hanzo is just a KD searcher and doesn't actually play as a team.
I could see it. But yeah, so like I'll either play as Mei or like Bastion, mostly because I like Bastion for me, I both like the character and like playing him, so that's why I play him, because I think he's funny.
Mm-hmm.
And it's adorable, the little like bird.
Yep, another character that the internet does not like.
Just like, yeah, well, I mean, the internet's the internet. They don't like anything. They hate
anything that does well, they don't like.
Why do you think Grumpy Cat is just basically the face of the internet? I mean,
true.
It's the epitome of the internet.
And Alex is sitting over there like, God, I don't care what you guys are talking about.
Grumpy Cat.
I am paying attention. I know what you're talking about.
I'm totally not building something in Space Engineers.
I'm not. You can see I'm not in Space Engineers.
I know. It's just fun. The internet can't. They don't know.
So if we say it, it must be true.
It must be true.
On the internet.
Yeah, nothing's wrong. Everything is permitted. Yeah. So, that's who I usually play. Every once in a while, I'll play Reaper, but I don't do great as Reaper.
Neither do I.
Character-wise, okay. So for me, there's character design and actual like who they are character. Like who they are character, I would say, yeah, like Bastion. And probably Tracer, I think, are the ones I like. In terms of like character design, I think Mercy and Mercy and Genji, I think would probably be
Genji's
my favorite.
pretty sweet.
Yeah, he looks really cool. But yeah, I think that's who it is for me. I mean, I've played with all of them. I can't say I've enjoyed playing as Zenyatta or what's her name? Not Pharah. The other not really support class, but what's her name? Dang it.
What does she use as her main weapon?
She throw things? I can't remember. The
Symmetra.
Symmetra, yes. Thank you. That is how little I play her, everybody. I don't know. I really.
So does most people until the new update. Have you seen her? She
do all right.
She has like new shield abilities and stuff. It's really cool.
Oh, and Diva. That's the character design I like.
Oh,
Diva,
yes.
because awesome. I just like the mech. It's great.
For some reason, I never do well with her. I don't know why. I'm just not good with her.
I would have to say that seems like that'd be very disorienting though, to actually pilot that mech while laying down like that. Like that seems.
That's true.
That seems like you'd be like, oh god. But yeah, that's probably who I'd say for me. Well, now that we've all shared the game of the year, I suppose we can start working into the next year, and I think we're all trying to still figure out what in the hell is going on with Death Stranding. I don't think nobody knows. It's slightly more like, okay, so the new trailer that came out makes everything slightly clearer, but also so much more vague. Like, it's like, okay, we at least get an idea of what might be happening in the game, whilst simultaneously having no idea what's happening in the game. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, it's probably going to involve some of these weird World War II skeleton tentacle beast things, but also tanks that have weird tentacles, and Mads Mikkelsen playing a modern soldier in amongst a whole bunch of World War II soldier skeleton things, also with tentacles. There's tentacles everywhere, guys.
It's Kojima.
Is Kojima known for tentacles? Are there tentacles everywhere in Metal Gear?
Wouldn't surprise me.
You've played all of them, Tom. You tell me.
Yeah, that'll tell you everything you need to know. I played them all, and I'm like, wouldn't surprise me. I don't know.
Oh, that's the you have to beat it on the hardest difficulty. Then it's tentacles.
Yeah, that's
everywhere.
what I mean. I'm like, I don't know. There's so many weird secrets in those games. I have no idea.
Clearly, you haven't been playing it on hentai mode. Oh wait, no, just
wait a minute.
It's a completely different thing.
I was gonna say, I was like, now you say that, I'm like, is it? I don't know. I don't know.
Tom's like, oh god.
I don't know.
There are Monster Hunter secret levels in one of the Metal Gear Solid games.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wow, weird.
It is the weirdest series ever, and Kojima is known for that. And so this is going to be just as weird. There's going to be a giant flaming space whale that's going to eat a helicopter, and I'm not going to be shocked.
Oh, God.
I mean, Snake will see that and just say, man, that's just another day at the office, where I'm like, are we just not going to talk about this?
Are we not going to talk about that? Is this perfectly normal for everyone else in the room?
Except for
me?
We
all on board with this? All right, cool, whatever.
But I think that this trailer was just like, like you said, it was like, okay, now I can kind of guess what's happening, and then suddenly you're like, no, I can't. Yes, I can. What? I don't even know. I'm just so confused.
Like I'm super hyped for it. Not be out of the mystery of it, but just because like I love the art. Like, oh, this is interesting. Like I'm a fan of World War II stuff, so like anytime it's used, especially if like it's supposed to be a weird like alternate history thing, like I'm on board. But then again, I say alternate history, and then for some reason there's a modern military dude. I don't know. If it's like a weird like everything's out of time, and it's a weird like that's why the world's ending is like time itself is unraveling.
So basically, you're saying the word you're going to use for this game is weird. Yeah,
no, I think that is probably the eccentric, weird, off kilter, sketchy, strange, far-fetched, pretty much anything. Any of those, any synonyms of those, cinnamons of those, cinnamons. Any synonyms, any synonyms of those would probably be perfectly well suited to describe that game.
And I hope we get to see more of it. I'm guessing we won't see this game till 2018 at minimum.
Oh yeah.
As in actually play it. I think we'll see a lot of trailers at E3 next year, probably something at Gamescom. We'll probably continue to get little trickles of it, but I don't think any of them will be less confusing than this.
All I know is I feel like it would be hilarious if Norman Reedus and Mads Mikkelsen weren't actually in the games. They're just in the trailers. They're like, but where are they?
I would love that.
Yeah, everyone's like, God damn it! Oh God, yeah. And then like there's like the weird black muck stuff, and then like the tentacles again, and there were different types of tentacles. That's how many goddamn tentacles are in this fucking game. There's weird pink tentacles and like black tentacles, or weird orangey ones falling off of shit. Like there's too many tentacles.
Diverse group of tentacles.
They're tentacles for days. But I think it will be interesting at the very least. And of course, weird space baby. Well, I guess not space
Norman
baby,
Reedus.
but I guess maybe is that why he's sad? He's like, oh, my dad was in a suit and tie, and I don't have any. No, like I don't. Why? More importantly, why did he like hook the thing up? Where did he hook it to? First of all, but he just like hooked a tube up to the thing he's holding, and he's like, Haha, look, I have a baby. That's interesting. Wow, that's weird, huh? Anywho, moving on with the story. Like, whoa, hey, go back to the weird tank baby. Can we talk about tank baby for a sec? No? All right. Yeah,
It's going to be a weird game.
Yeah,
Yep.
it looks
Yep.
very strange. So yeah, we all have that to look forward to. Other than that, are there any games you guys are looking forward to? Whether it be weird or just like really like out there games, or just more the like
Don't get me
big
started.
ones? I mean that the point of the podcast is to
Ghost
get started
Recon
on the thing.
Wildlands.
Ooh, Ghost Recon Wildlands,
Super
yes.
excited for that.
Me too. I think that game will be really fun. I'm looking forward to being able to play that. But we have to wait till March. Boo.
Yeah.
But the one I'm most looking forward to, well, probably it's a combination between Mass Effect Andromeda and Persona 5. Surprise! No one else could have guessed that. And I'm stoked for, like we talked about with Mass Effect Andromeda, but Persona 5, it's already out in Japan. Everyone says it's like super amazing. I love the other games in the series, and if this is anything else like those, I will love the game. I will play it all the way through, all 900 hours or whatever else it requires,
Jesus.
and I will be. It's like probably 90, I would guess.
Oh, I mean, it's a JRPG, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah, that's expected. That's not strange.
Yeah, so it's 90 hours, but I will be totally enthralled with it the whole time. I'm so excited to play it. And then I would say probably my next after that would probably be, I'm probably forgetting a game that's totally coming out that I just didn't even think about. I mean, Horizon Zero Dawn looks interesting, but I would say ones that I'm for sure, it's Danganronpa V3. Another weird Japanese game that makes no sense and is still awesome. If you haven't played the first two, they're on PC and they're coming to PS4 shortly. Play them. They're great.
What, you're not excited for Prey, aka Gmod Prop Hunt, the game? The game?
I don't even know what that's another game where I'm just like, I don't even know what to think about
like
this.
I mean, people have been calling it like BioShock in space. I think IGN, I think it was IGN, might have been PC Gamer. That's what they were calling it. And it's like, I realize, to be fair, the whole turning into furniture and cups thing, it's a thing. It's like a power you have. But at the same time, guys, like, come on.
And sometimes when I hear people comparing games and calling them games, it makes me nervous. Because, like, for example, with Death Stranding, what can you compare that thing to? What do you call that? What game reminds you of? I can't think of a single game that reminds me of.
Metal Gear Solid.
Well, other than the fact that Kojima is part of it and it's weird. But I'm saying, like there's no game mechanics and stuff that, or anything that legitimately reminds me of something else.
I mean, it reminds me of a dream I had after I drank entirely too much one night.
Yeah,
and ate
probably
way too much greasy food.
And did you watch the Bob or something with it too?
Probably.
And then
had some bad acid or something. I don't know. Jesus.
I don't know what the hell's going on. And so, like, anytime someone says this game is like this, or someone who's played it, like, think of this game. I'm like, because that means it's going to feel. I don't know, if you can liken it very closely to something else, I feel like it's hard for it to make itself unique.
It's probably that something else.
Yeah, that's what I mean, and it doesn't feel fresh. Whereas something like Death Stranding, that's why I'm interested, because like it's going to be something weird and different.
You ever have fun when people try to make connections and it's clearly not working for them? They're like
what?
It's like Battlefield meets Saw meets New Kids on the Block. Like what even? What the fuck is that? What even is that? What
I'm
would that
think,
be?
Right. That would be they call it Postal 2.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe. I think that actually would. See?
I think that's
See how weird it would be to, like, how random it would be to,
like a Saw version of Bully.
Maybe in the 90s, I guess.
I don't know. Yeah, you people give like weird combos of games. This game is like this mixed with this. You're like, I hope not.
You mean it's mixed with it in that it has that one game mechanic in a sea of game mechanics that's the same.
It's like Battlefield because you can aim down the sights.
It's like,
okay.
Well,
okay.
Sure.
I mean, you're not wrong, I guess.
It's like Battlefield in that it has no story progression and you don't care about the characters.
So basically, most games nowadays.
I know, right? You're like, oh no, he died. All right, where's the checkpoint? We good? We good? Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
are we
Moving
on to the next thing?
Oh no, person I should have cared about. How will I ever go on? Oh no.
And then you play something like The Last of Us.
Then you're like, my heart, it, I,
Or,
it's
but
gone.
without any
It is-
spoilers, the end of Walking Dead Season 2.
God damn it.
Zach's just silent.
Well, I said, God damn it, I wasn't silent.
Oh, I didn't
You
hear.
said a thing. I don't. But...
I just said,
No, I'm just making a joke at this point. But yeah, oh god, that's just like, why game? Why must you toy with me so?
and I love those games that do that. And I'm hoping that we get. I don't know. Sometimes it feels like we keep trying. People like we were talking about with making all these MOBA games and copying off of all of Overwatch and things like that. That's what the medium has become, and it's always been that. You know, everyone's always chasing the big thing of that year. You know, people try to chase Mario platformers for a long time. Then they try to chase Zelda around. Then they try to chase Call of Duty. It's just kind of how the game industry works. It's just sometimes that's why I'd always try to look for those games that are a little bit more unique on the unique side. And maybe that's something that Horizon Zero Dawn will be, or maybe it's something that, I don't know, Death Stranding, something like those games that could be something different. That's what I'm really looking forward to for the years to come.
Now I am thinking, I wonder what kind of game Death Stranding will be. I don't think any of us will know. We'll never know.
No, Kojima doesn't even know.
He's making it up on the fly, and it'll be wonderful.
It kind of feels like that when you play Metal Gear.
What, you mean the flaming space wheel, or space wheel, this flaming space whale wasn't drawn up on the storyboards ahead of time?
Don't forget that it ate a helicopter.
It is imagining him sitting in a meeting with people, like lots of people in the room, very talented
At
artists.
Konami while he's handcuffed to the table.
Yeah, I know, right? They're explaining this, and they're like, how long do we have to remake the game? We can't remake the game. We got to go with it. All right, space whale. All right, get on it. Let's have a draft by Monday.
And after that, there's going to be a giant flaming unicorn that's going to chase after you while you're driving in your car. Okay.
I haven't played it. Is that a thing?
If you play it, you'll understand what I mean.
Oh god.
The first hour will be the most
Oh,
confusing
God.
hour of a video game you've ever played in your entire life, even to somebody who's played Metal Gear before.
Yeah, no, I can believe that from what you said. Good God.
And they don't mention it. The thing is that they don't talk about it. There's like, no, we're just not going to talk about what just happened. And I'm like, I think some explanation is required.
No.
They never
No,
addressed
you
the
don't-
elephant in the room, aka the flaming space whale in the room.
Or the flaming space elephant in the whale. In the
Flaming
whale.
Space, what? Well, that took a turn. All right, well.
Would we be shocked if that was what happened?
Probably not. The space whale lands and like a loading dock door just comes down from behind it, and like a elephant walks out who's also on fire and starts firing machine guns for tusks. Who knows?
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked.
That's a strange
And then Metal
thing
Gear
to
2, like,
say.
it was an experiment gone wrong. What kind of experiments are you doing?
I want to see this experiment gone right, to be perfectly honest. What
What
was
the
this
goal?
supposed to be? Jesus.
But I'd say for 2017, I'm really excited for those two games, and I would love to see them keep trying, and maybe the indie scene is where we'll get a lot of pushing the boundaries, kind of like Undertale or Enter the Gungeon. Just try to do something a little bit different to, I don't know, make the medium progress, because sometimes it feels a little stagnant, and I think this year it really felt that way to me.
What, you mean Battlefield 1 didn't push the boundaries of gaming and first-person shooters?
You mean Battlefield in World War I, which didn't have a lot of machine guns, but has lots of machine guns? Oh, wait, we talked about this already.
They wanted it to be the most realistic, unrealistic game you'll ever play?
Yeah.
With
And
tanks
everyone's
that
like,
can
it's
turn
so
and stupid-
great.
It's okay, it's entertaining, but it's not a great game. Again, the internet can be pissed all they want. It's not a good game, guys. It's not.
It'll be forgotten in a couple years, and
Oh.
it'll fall into the abyss.
Couple years. It'll be as soon as Battlefront 2 rolls out, it's gone. If it even makes it to that.
Which is why I say like this year is like how many games this year will be listed in any pantheon of games ever? Probably Overwatch will live on and people will think fondly of it. But is there any other really ones that anyone can think of? Final Fantasy 15 maybe? I haven't played it yet, so I don't know.
I've heard
Uncharted 4 probably.
Yeah, the Uncharted 4. Again, I won't say anything about it because I know you haven't like
I'm gonna play it.
But like it ends it well. It ends it real well.
And so like games like that I'm sure will be remembered, but I don't know, this year didn't feel like it had a lot of memorable moments or memorable games that you'll look back on and be like, man, that was a fantastic game when you think of
Oh yeah.
You know, you're not gonna think back because like last year I think, and I know you guys haven't played them all the way through anyway, but Metal Gear Solid 5 will be remembered very fondly. So will The Witcher 3.
Fallout 4.
And I think Fallout 4 will be remembered, even if people are all upset about it.
I mean, I don't understand why people are so mad, except for the Nuka World one. And I realize, like,
the Nuka World one.
We don't have to get into that because we've already talked about it. But like, like that one, all right. But otherwise, it's just a solid game. I don't.
It's mostly that they took out. People feel like they took out the RP, like the
any real choice.
The role-playing elements and the dialogue.
I mean,
guess
I know.
I never felt like there was that much in the game to begin with.
Yeah, from my perspective, the way they wrote the story, I usually play that way anyways. So for me, it didn't matter. But exactly. For someone who wants to be a raider or whatever, then I can imagine when no matter how hard you try to be a bad guy, they're like, oh my god, you just murdered 7 small children. Anywho, you want to go on this quest? You're like, God, what do I have to do?
Or like you join the Brotherhood of Steel to be the bad guy, and they're still like, you saved everyone. Like, why can't you tell me good job for being evil? Somebody tell me I'm good for being evil.
You're an asshole. Good job. Carry on. Like, I don't. Whatever. Again, it works. I guess it does what it needs.
It'll be remembered, even if people don't want to admit it.
I mean, at the very least, Pepperidge Farms, they'll remember. Hey, old internet memes. We're trendy, everybody. We're up on the hip and stuff.
Alex just can't. He can't accept it.
Oh, well, now that we broke Alex, I think that's a pretty good place to end it for today. We've covered a lot of stuff today, and it looks like we've been talking for quite a while now. So with that, I'd like to thank everybody for listening, and thank you guys for coming on and talking with me and sharing games of the year and about the different goings-ons in the gaming world. And yeah, thanks for coming by.
Everyone should play Persona 3 and 4.
Ah, yes, it wouldn't be the podcast without the Tom's favorite game plug. All right, cool. I agree. You should play it. It's a good game. Do it now.
And play Knights of the Old Republic, Zach.
Tom, you got it. I will play it. You got it for me. I will.
Alex, play Mass Effect.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Alex, play seriously, man. Play Mass Effect. Drop the other games. Play Mass Effect.
Play Knights of the Republic so that next time we do a podcast, you can tell the whole world how Knights of the Republic is amazing.
You want me to play like the entire game in like a week?
Or yeah,
Alex,
you should want to. I mean,
it's finals week.
Okay, Alex. Once you get past Terrace,
I have classes.
Paragus.
No, Paragus is the second one.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, once you get past Terrace.
I have classes. I have things to do.
You may want to jam a pen in your eye when you play Terrace or Paragus when you play the second one. But just get through it. It gets better. I promise.
Uh-huh. Sure. I'm sure it's fantastic.
HC47 will help you get through the game.
HK47.
Hey, dang it. I always messed it up.
Is that a new drug the kids are taking?
Sounds like it.
Oh, God.
Anywho, but play it.
All right. Anything you'd like to plug, Alex? Any game you think people should go play?
Space Engineers.
Good choice. Alex is like, I'm still thinking about Space Engineers.
I'm still thinking about Space Engineers.
All right.
If we haven't all figured it out, we're all engineers anyway.
Yeah, we're all engineers. Seriously though, like for real, we're all engineers. I mean, when a game comes along, it tells you, "Hey, you want to be engineers in space?" You're
And we're like,
"Yeah, all right, yeah, that sounds pretty
That's
good."
kind of what we are, but okay.
Wait, there's physics in the game? All the physics. Yes.
We will
Bring it
break
on.
these physics.
All right.
We will throw a giant metal rod at a ship flying through space at 10 kilometers and knock out its reactor.
Just because we can.
Ah, yes. All right, guys. It was very impressive. All right. See you guys later.
Bye.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Wow.